Welcome to this video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of Bayes' theorem, a concept that not only revolutionizes the way we think about probability, but also has significant real-world applications. Today, we'll explore how Bayes' theorem contrasts with traditional frequentist probability, how it can be applied to everyday situations, its importance in fields like artificial intelligence, and even how it can challenge deeply held beliefs. Bayes' theorem, at its core, is about updating our beliefs in the face of new evidence. Unlike the frequentist approach, which looks at probabilities as fixed values, Bayes' theorem allows us to adjust our understanding as more information becomes available. This is particularly useful in situations where we start with a prior belief or assumption and need to refine it as we gather more data. For example, consider the probability of flipping a coin and getting heads. In a frequentist approach, this would always be 50%, assuming a fair coin. But with Bayes' theorem, if we notice a pattern, perhaps someone has a special way of flipping the coin that favors heads, we can update our belief and say the probability of getting heads might be higher than 50%. Let's bring this concept to life with a practical example. Imagine you meet a student who is very timid. You know that this student is either a math major or a business major. Based on stereotypes, you might guess that the student is more likely a math major, as math majors are often perceived as more introverted. But here's where Bayes' theorem comes into play. If you learn that 90% of math majors are timid, but only 10% of business majors are, you might still think the student is likely a math major. However, if you also learn that there are 1,000 business majors and only 100 math majors on campus, you realize that there are actually more timid business majors overall. This new information updates your belief, making it more likely that this timid student is actually a business major. Bayes' theorem isn't just for hypothetical situations. It's a powerful tool in fields like artificial intelligence. In AI, Bayesian inference is used to make predictions and decisions. For instance, in games like chess or Go, an AI needs to consider the probability of winning based on various moves. By constantly updating its predictions as the game progresses, the AI can make more informed decisions, similar to how Bayes' theorem works. For example, if an AI is playing chess, it might calculate that a certain move has a 99.9% chance of leading to a win based on past games. But if the opponent makes an unexpected move, the AI uses Bayesian thinking to adjust its strategy, considering the new likelihood of different outcomes. Now let's explore a more controversial application of Bayes' theorem, challenging deeply held beliefs. Imagine a scenario where a widely accepted belief is being questioned, such as whether certain verses in a religious text are original or later additions. If we start with the assumption that these verses are genuine, that belief might be held by the vast majority of people, making the probability of them being false seem very low. However, if new evidence is presented, say historical records, linguistic analysis, or scholarly interpretations, that challenges the authenticity of these verses, Bayes' theorem would guide us to update our belief. Initially, the chance of the verses being false might seem minuscule, but as we gather more evidence, the probability increases. With just a few strong pieces of evidence, what seemed almost impossible can suddenly appear quite plausible. For instance, if you begin with a belief that there's only a 1% chance that these verses are false, but then you discover multiple pieces of evidence suggesting otherwise, Bayes' theorem shows us that this probability can quickly rise. With enough compelling evidence, it might even reach a point where it becomes highly probable that the verses in question are indeed later additions, not part of the original text. In conclusion, Bayes' theorem is a powerful tool that goes beyond traditional probability. It helps us make better decisions by allowing us to update our beliefs as new evidence comes in. Whether you're evaluating a real-world scenario, analyzing historical evidence, developing AI, or even questioning long-held beliefs, understanding and applying Bayes' theorem can lead to more accurate and informed conclusions. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video has given you a clearer understanding of Bayes' theorem and its practical applications.